board the Africa tram. My name is Lucy. I'll be your driver and guide for the next 25 to 30 minutes out in Africa. Before we witness some of our beautiful animals, we're going to run through some important safety. If you wouldn't mind, give a gentle push outward on the doors on the left and right for me. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Those doors on our left and right do not lock. They only do latch. So please tap up against them or sit on them throughout our tour because they can pop open with your body weight. Also, since we are a moving tour, while we're in motion, I need everyone to please remain seated. When I do come to a full and complete stop, you are more than welcome to stand to get a better view. This next rule is the most important one on board. In the case of a medical emergency, I need everyone to look to the rooftops, please. You'll see 2 yellow strips lining the sides of the cabin. Just hold those strips down and I'll be back here to assist you. If you're in the front cabin, you don't have these strips, but no worries, friends. Give me a nice wave or tap on this glass. I'll be back there to assist you as well. Last but not least, if you lose something overboard, try and remember where you lost it, as I'm not allowed to stop for this item. Notify me after the tour, and one of my co-workers can go fetch it for you. With all of our safety out of the way, let's get right into Africa, shall we? Looks like we're starting off our tour with one of the most iconic African animals, some of our giraffes out on the left. Anytime we come across a grouping that is known as a tower, and it looks like just behind our tower is also a grouping of southern white rhinos. Now there's always so much to see, but I do recommend looking on the right-hand side of the tram. The South African cheetah in perfect view. Towards the end of our tour, we will wrap back around and get a better view of everyone on the left. So let's focus on that stunning South African cheetah for a moment. This cheetah is capable of speeds up to 70 miles per hour. They are well adapted for that city lifestyle, and that is how we create awareness. That is how those people looks like a football player does. We have a set of cleats on. As we all do venture throughout our safari today, I would like to challenge everyone on board to look at our animals in a new way. I'd like you to consider their adaptations we'll be talking about and think about how these animals utilize them out in the wild. Because everything on an animal does have a purpose. Take, for instance, the ears on the southern white rhinos on the left. If you compare the size of their ears to their eyes, you'll notice their ears are easily 5 times the size, right? Their massive ears are an adaptation to make up for their lack of poor eyesight. Rhinos' ears are kind of like mini satellite dishes.
Mini ducks, huh?
They can rotate up to 180 degrees around their head, giving them an excellent auditory map of their surroundings. At the beginning of all my safaris, I do like to take a quick survey with everyone on board, just so I know what to stop for. If I have any baby animal lovers on the tram today, could you raise your hands nice and high for me, please? Oh my goodness, that's almost everyone on board. All right, I will do my best to stop and point out all the babies as we go along today. I believe the odds will be in our favor, considering that we're a breeding facility here. Since park opening in 1972, we've had over 35,000 babies born and hatched right here. Every single one of those babies have helped contribute to our mission. That mission is to lead the fight to end extinction. Passing this pond down the left, you might find yourself looking at some large white birds. This island is home to 2 of our pelican species. the great white pelican and the Dalmatian pelican. And even though these two birds are closely related, they have a rather different way to go about their day-to-day lives. The great white pelicans love hanging around each other, so much so that they'll all hunt for fish together. The Dalmatian pelican, on the other hand, well, they're not the world's best sharers, and they will always hunt alone. Even though they have completely opposite tactics, they're both extremely successful at catching fish. Just like our very own local pelican here in California, the brown pelican species, I'd like to encourage you all to help out our pelicans the next time you head out to your local beach by bringing a bag with you and picking up any trash you might see. Our beautiful pelicans won't mistake that trash for food. We have a glimpse of yet another iconic African animal. Out on the right, at the very top of the sandy part of the hillside, I spy a white animal with thin black stripes. Looks to be a pair of grevy zebras hanging out up there. Hopefully you all can catch a glimpse of the world famous stripes these animals have. Believe it or not, those stripes do serve as the zebra's camouflage. However, zebra's camouflage is rather unique in the way it works. As all our zebras stand together in a herd, they'll all kind of blend into each other, forming one large blob. It then makes it rather difficult for a predator to pick out one individual zebra. The lesson learned here is that there are safety in numbers out on the Africa plains.
What are those? Antelopes, okay.
Not every animal can be as fortunate as the grevy zebra to have adapted camouflage. Some of our animals had to adapt in different ways. A perfect example is coming up on our left. Oh, and with two babies as well. This herd of dark brown animals with the curved back horns are known as the South African sable.
Yeah,
and they exhibit an adapted behavior known as an alert circle. Everyone will stay close together, but they'll each look out in slightly different directions. That way they can have eyes out all across the plains. If they were to spot a predator, they can now quickly alert the herd that it's time to get up and get the heck out of there. And those two adorable babies towards the left will never stray too far away from the center of the circle, because they know that is the safest place that they can be. Higher up the hillside, you might have spotted yet another alert circle. Those shaggy brown animals sitting together are the Ellipson's water bug. Out in the Africa plains, there's always so much to see, so many different types of animals exhibiting their own forms of adaptations to help them survive. But one animal they all typically rely on are the giraffes out on the left. They're commonly nicknamed the Watch Towers of Africa, but it's not just because of their tall stature where giraffes get this nickname. Let's focus in on her eyes, ears, and nostrils. What do you notice? She has three large sensory structures, right? I mean, her eyes are about the size of golf balls, to give you a little bit of perspective. And having that powerful eyesight, hearing, and smell, upwards of 15 to 18 feet off the ground, it's no wonder that giraffes can spot trouble up to 2 miles away. That's why it's not uncommon for other animals to hang around them in the area. Just imagine we're all a smaller animal. Maybe those small tan animals kind of right in the small valley of the hillside, the springbok. We're having a good old Tuesday grazing about, and all of a sudden, that giraffe near us takes off sprinting. It's probably in our best interest to take off too and ask questions later. All of these African animals cannot just be well adapted to survive against predators, they also have to be well adapted to their homes. Out on the left is a rather large light tan animal, the Patterson's eland. Fully grown, these antelope can reach 2,000 pounds. That is a huge animal living in a hot place. How do they cope with all that heat? If you take a look at their necks for me, you'll see a nice flap of skin hanging down. This flap is called a dewlap. That dewlap's very important job is to pull heat off the eland's body and push it out into the environment at rapid rates, helping them to stay a little bit cooler out in the wild. For all you baby animal lovers on the tram, which seems like everyone today, prepare yourselves. We're about to pull alongside two beautiful baby boy giraffes. Looks like they're getting a little bit of a snack. This is Yoda and Obi. They were born at the beginning of this year in January and February. They're only just a few months old. Look at these little guys.
See the baby,
You
sweetie?
might be surprised at how tall they actually are, though.
Yeah, 2.
Do I have anyone on board that's 6 foot or taller? Would you mind raising your hand? Perfect, awesome. Well, all of you that just raised your hand, these two boys tower over you. At birth, Yoda and Obi were about 6 foot. They grow a few inches every week or so, and before we know it, they'll reach upwards of that 18 feet in height. What a beautiful view of the world's tallest land animals, right? I mean, our two babies up front, 2 of our adults in the back. But imagine if we lived in a world without giraffes. How weird would that be, right? I mean, they're an icon of Africa. Well, sadly, we all could live in a world without them. They're going through right now what is called a silent extinction. They've lost over 40% of their population in the last 4 years out in the wild. Researchers from all over the world are coming together to figure out what exactly is happening. We have our own team out in Kenya that has set up hundreds and hundreds of trail cameras that snap pictures of passing wildlife. And these pictures tell our team a lot about what's happening in the home of the giraffe. But thousands and thousands of pictures are taken every day. And our team needs some help from volunteers to go through them. If you log on to a website called wildwatchkenya.org, you can go through the photos and help our team to identify the animals you see in them. And out on Wild Watch Kenya, you might be lucky enough to spot some other species like the gunspotting out on our left, the light tan animals with the straight back horns. Sadly, I cannot stop on this hill, but if you look down on the left, we are passing a series of structures known as bomas. And the last boma is our female black rhino. Now, bomas can be used for a variety of reasons, and right now that boma is being used as her own personal waiting room. Once she is fully adapted to our environment out here, she will be released to enjoy the company of all her other African friends out there. We all do reach the top of this hillside. I'd like you all to do me a favor. Pull out your cell phones and cameras and snap a picture of those bright orange animals across the way on the hillside. It doesn't have to be a perfect picture. Once you take it, I'd like you to put it into a gray scale filter. Now to you and me, that Uganda cob, as they're called, that orange coat is standing out greatly against that green grass. But believe it or not, they are actually blending in beautifully at the moment. If you take a look at them through grayscale, you'll see them through another animal's eyes. Many animals do see in black and white, and you'll notice to many other animals that orange and green are practically the same color. They are actually masters at camouflage. Now the shaggy brown animal walking alongside us is a Sitatunga. Do I have anyone on board that's a picky eater? You can admit it. I am one too. I don't
Oh
want to
yeah,
admit
look
it.
at more, huh?
All of you that raised your hand, that's your spirit animal. The Sitatunga only eat one thing, the most protein-rich grass. And this is typically found around waterways. So if you look closely at our Sitatunga's coat, you'll see it's very heavy and shaggy to help him stay warm as he's wading around in those waters looking for that grass. So here at the safari park, we are doing our part to try and help protect many endangered African species. But that's not where our conservation efforts stop. We're working hard to help things right in our own backyard, including an entire habitat that's endangered. If you take a look out on the right-hand side, you can see it for yourself. This home for wildlife is known as the coastal sage scrub and chaparral, and it's native right here to San Diego County. Sadly, we've lost over 90% of this habitat here along our coastline in California. The safari park decided to step out by setting aside 800 acres right here that will never be touched. We're hoping to one day help bring it back to the coast. We also realize it's a rather lengthy process. In the meantime, an easy way you all can help us out is by doing a little bit of research and planting local plants wherever you're from. Local plants will give homes to local wildlife, but they also use up less water, which is really a huge plus for you. At the bottom of this hillside, I'd like us to focus in on that corner with that grouping of rocks. So I spot my personal favorite African species, light brown in color, with thin white vertical stripes along their body. These are the greater kudu. And it looks like the handsome male just stood up with his extravagant spiraled up horns he has. Now these greater kudu are some of the most athletic animals in Africa. I mean, take a look at their back legs for me. Do you see how massive and muscular they are? Greater kudu are equipped with powerful back leg muscles that allows them to jump about 5 feet straight up in the air. And this comes in rather handy where they live. Greater kudu live in the same neighborhood as leopards, and leopards are known for their power and athleticism. You can imagine how important it must be for these kudu to jump over any obstacles if a leopard is chasing them down out in the wild.
I don't want you dropping my phone.
On our left, it looks like we have a few more baby animals to enjoy. Take a look at that herd of dark black animals, the Cape buffalo. It looks like there's a baby on the far left-hand side, right in the center, and the right-hand side as well. Aren't they just absolutely cute and cuddly looking? How many of you want to snuggle one of those Cape buffalo? Raise your hand. Lots of people. I love that, myself included. However, it would be the last thing any of us ever did. While they look cute and cuddly, those Cape buffalo are the second most dangerous animals in all of Africa. They've been known to take out entire prides of lions before. That's simply because if you mess with just one of those buffalo, that entire herd is coming after you with a vengeance. They are a highly family-oriented species. Throughout our safari this afternoon, though, we've been seeing how all of these African animals are well adapted to where they call home. If you were to take them out of what they're used to, how do you think they would do? Probably not that well, right? Because unlike you and me, scimitar herbivores are able to get go to the nearest grocery store when they're hungry, or throw on the air conditioner when it's too hot in the desert areas they call home. That's why they have to be so well adapted for it. So it's up to all of us to try and help protect these areas where the animals call home. And I know that sounds like this insane large task. I'm here to tell you it's a lot of easy things you're doing every day that just need a slight adjustment. It's as simple as taking shorter showers to help conserve water, switching to a reusable water bottle versus a single-use plastic one, or even maybe carpooling to work and cutting down on your carbon footprint. All of these little things can truly add up and make a world of difference. I would, however, like to take this time to congratulate each and every one of you, because you all have already taken your first steps to becoming heroes for wildlife today. Just by coming into our park, how cool is that? Here at the Safari Park and over at the San Diego Zoo, we are a not-for-profit organization. All that means is with your admission price today and any money you spend here, it's going directly back to helping all the animals we've been seeing, but it also helps to fund the 140 conservation projects we have going on worldwide. Just by being here today, you all are already leaving a positive impact on the world around you. To prepare everyone on board, we're about to pull alongside a southern white rhino in pretty close proximity, just to the right here. Looks like one of our females is enjoying a nice little snack this afternoon. And as we pull alongside her, I want to talk about her horn. I mean, how cool are rhinos' horns, right? Has anyone on board ever wanted to touch one? Yeah. Few people? I love that. Okay, you all can touch your own rhino horn. You just have to do me one last favor. Promise, last one. Go ahead and run your fingers through your hair real quick. And tap your fingernails. Congratulations, everyone. You have all just touched your very own rhino horn. Because these rhino horns on our right are made out of keratin. It's that same protein that makes up your hair and fingernails. Sadly, it's still believed in some cultures that these rhino horns contain medicinal properties that make sick people get better. But there is absolutely zero scientific evidence to prove that claim. Yet to this day, we lose a rhino about every 8 hours in Africa for their horns. So an easy way to help out these gentle giants is just to spread the word that the only one that benefits from having a rhino horn are the rhinos themselves. They're just like giant fingernails. And I know how much we're all baby animal lovers, so I have to point out the baby girl giraffe playing peekaboo just to the right underneath the shade of that tree. She's not even named yet. She's about a month old. And she's taller than every single one of you on the tram today.
Almost finished. Ooh, the giraffe. Look. The giraffe real close. See? Almost ready. About 5 minutes.
Sadly, our safari has now come to an end. I would like to thank you all for taking the time and trekking all the way down to the train station. I know it's a bit of a hike from the main entrance. I had a great time with all of you out in the field today.